Hello, 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 and welcome to another One Lion of Code. I am One Lion. Hello, Dukasoft. Hello, TBD Gamer. Thank you so much for the lurk, TBD Gamer. And Dukasoft, thank you so much for the dad joke from your bot. It said, just read a few facts about frogs. It was riveting. I mean, they were riveting. I messed up the joke. Whatever. Anyway, hi. I didn't want to turn down the music because this song is really good. Anyway, welcome. Today is Friday. For those of you that know this channel, you know that Fridays are community days. They're what? Community days. Community day. Which my bot isn't listening. So it's not community day yet until my bot says it's community day. Hello? What? No, sa. You there. I push this. I go here. We connect with Twitch. Leon? Okay, what do you say about is it community day yet? Yes, it is. And do we have an LLM running? Good day. Happy start of stream. The answer is... looks like no. Let's get the LLM up and running. I'm so prepared. Check me out. I ran into an issue. You're not sorry yet. You don't know what sorry means. Ooh. Come on, you can do the thing. I know you can. Anyway, until that thing gets started up, I will introduce the stream to you. So, this is the why are we on a snowing scene? Aren't we done with snow? Anyway, this stream is all about coding and stuff, and what we've been doing lately on the stream is UI design. So all about coding, but doing UI design. But Fridays are special days on this stream. I call them community days because I try to focus on chat and just have conversations with whatever you, the community, want to bring up. I also invite you into a Discord channel. So just hop into our Discord. There's a link in the community day announcement, and hop into any of the voice channels in the Discord and let me know that you're waiting, and I'll pull you into the stream voice channel where you can talk using your voice if you are comfortable doing so. Of course, your voice will come through on the stream, and I'm trying to do too many things. So your voice will come through on stream, and just so you know, I post the VODs to YouTube at some point in time after the stream. So if you aren't comfortable having your voice persisted on video forever, then maybe don't hop into voice channel. But you can still participate in community day by typing stuff into chat, and I'll respond to it. And there is an internal server error still until I push this button here. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, half, 25%, 12.5, done. What? Thank you, Dukasoft, for influencing the bot's first words of the day. Not your daddy. but I can help you with your issues. Like my daddy issues, or what are you implying? What do you mean? What are you talking about? What do you... Anyway, hello, SSSH. I hope you're having a great day. As I mentioned, today's community day. Let's get started. Here is my desktop. I don't have a clue what's open on it. I have the financial management tracker open on it, and that should be the Blazor bot because we're remaking the Blazor bot on Fridays. And so you can see that the Blazor bot has an LLM component to it where it is generating text based off of messages that you might send to it. All you have to do is app it and it will respond to you. We also have a stream archery game that I use the LLM to generate messages for. Oh, my arm. And hello, Semper Fides. Semper Fides. Hello and good day. I'm doing some WPF app learning. Should I use ADO.NET for my login window and Entity Framework for other window, or Entity for both? That is a decision to make. So, number one, your login server and all of that stuff. If you're using Windows login, then that's fine. But if you're using like a user store where you need a database, then you're most likely going to be using an API, using an API authentication type of scheme where your authentication mechanism lives on a server somewhere. That's where your user store is. That's where all of your identity management is. So when you say ADO.NET for the login window, like you shouldn't use ADO.NET anymore. You should use Entity Framework. But on the client, you wouldn't be using Entity Framework at all on a desktop app. Come here. Wow. But good question. If you want to clarify the use case, then let me know. So essentially, you're not expecting a user to have the database and all of the credentials and stuff on their computer. So even if in development you're using local SQL, you should most likely architect it so that you have a backend that is your authentication service or your authentication API. When you create a new Blazor app, for example, you will get a server render or server hosted server project that has the authentication stuff on it. So you could use that, or maybe just a brand new regular API template and tell it that you want to use authentication with individual accounts and it'll set it up for you. So tell me about your app though. Tell me what it is about your app that is allowing you to have a database on the local machine that the application is running on, and that's an okay approach for your authentication. To me. While you're learning me, I am opening up the original bot that's currently running on stream. Yeah, and you are definitely welcome to use local SQL in a desktop application, in which case definitely use Entity Framework. Especially if it's like, well, I don't know. I mean, whatever you happen to be using for your database provider, SQLite, if you're expecting the user of the app to have full SQL Server installed on their machine, if you're expecting them to have, what's the other one? SQL Server Express? SQL Express? Cool. So an app for a single user, essentially, who will track buyers for his wood. So why do you need an authentication mechanism for that? And even then, you could still architect it in a way where the API is yeah. So if you do want to learn and you want to make a more complex app, then I strongly urge you to follow the pattern of having an authentication backend. So an API that handles all of your authentication for you. And then your front end would be whatever mechanism, OpenID, the other ones. Well, let's look at it together. That's what today is all about, isn't it? Don't know where that accent came from. Please forgive me. I've been doing that a lot lately. Okay, clicky, clicky, clicky. New project. So let's say you're making a no. Today is all about you guys. So if this is something that you're interested in talking about, we are definitely welcoming and happy to talk about this for sure. It is not a bother at all. So let's start from a WPF app, because I'm sure you already have an app created or a new project created. And we'll just call this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, here. We'll call this one Woodshop Tracker. It's cool that your friend does wood. My dad used to, and probably still does, just not as much as he used to, but he does woodwork. He creates stuff out of wood and sells it. His most what's the word I'm looking for? His most popular product is a horse jump. So if you know anything about military installations, you'll know that, oops, I wrote military, Fort Riley. Each military installation has something significant about it that the locals know and the people that are there know about. But Fort Riley, they use horse jumps for all of their symbols. And in fact, that's insane. This is my dad's product. What? And yes, it is authentic limestone. Wait a minute. That's not real. That's crazy. I need to ask him if this is... Wait, did it say who posted this? Who posted this? How do I see who posted this? Anyway, so yeah. That's the product my dad creates. That's, or one of them. He also does full-on plaques, bunches and bunches and bunches of stuff, but yeah. This looks like King's Place. Is this King's Place? Three Rivers Engraving, of course. This one doesn't look like my dad's. But anyway, he sells a lot of these, like a lot of them, and they are all handmade. Him and my mom put the stone things together. They use concrete and then they inlay the stones, and then yeah, it's a lot of work. I just keep trying to look for evidence of the store that my dad sells them through. Yeah, he also does coin boxes, shadow boxes, and anyway, off topic. That kind of, yeah, that's surprising. Yeah, he made a massive one of these shields. It was insane. And that's the big red one, by the way, if you didn't know. Okay, anyway, cool stuff. Glad I looked. That was awesome to see. So, nice. I was writing before and jumped a few times, but hurt my back and stopped writing. Oh, that's sad. So I'm gonna assume that you're just using XAML for your markup, but for me, I would still make a Blazor UI because I prefer writing my UI in Blazor. I'm not very skilled in XAML, in using XAML for markup. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Point is, you have your app, and you want this app to be able to have an underlying database and stuff. So a few things I would do. All of the logic, and again, this is for your learning, for you to do this in a way that is probably more appropriate for your, I don't know, just overall good practice. If you're trying to do this in a way that is normal business practice, standard practice, best practices even, one thing that you'll want to do is to separate all of your layers into different projects. And so in this case, you have something that's going to do all of your database management stuff. And so that's just going to be a class library. And to set up the database, I typically set it up in 2 different projects, and then a 3rd project for doing the database migrations, but you can do it all via command line, so you don't need a 3rd project. But this would be my tracker database, and this would be the context one. Do I usually call it context? No, I just call it tracker database. Yeah, I just call it tracker database. And I like to organize my solutions in folders as well. Database. Nope. Oh wait, yes, that was right. App. And then in this same folder, I also put the, whoops, that's creating a new file. Let's add a new project. Add a new project, I said. This guy. He just keeps pushing all the wrong buttons. Just go right click, add new project. I'm pushing all the buttons for adding items. And this one is only going to have the database entities. So tracker database.models. And the reason that I do it this way is because the database project will have a dependency on entity framework. And typically when you're working with front-end projects, you know, the client side of things, that doesn't have a dependency on entity framework. In fact, there were issues if you tried to use entity framework with a WebAssembly's front end, with the client portion of a WebAssembly project. But yeah, so we're just going to add the required things. And let's say you're using entity framework core SQLite. SQLite. That's what I said. And then we'll probably need the design or the tools at least if you're going to do the migrations from this project. And then here's where, again, all of your regular tables go, the things that are going to turn into tables. So we'll call this one, the first one, I don't know what goes into a woodworking database. What kind of tables do you have? Cool. So you already have the two projects, one for data, one for models. Cool. I like that. I know products should be one. So notice I name my entities the singular version of the table, but when I create the tables, I let it make the plural version of the table in the database, but I will always work with the singular object name, but the property in my DB context the object in my database context, when it is a DB set of course you need a reference product, I make it plural. Just person with amount of wood and price of wood. So they're only selling wood, period. Okay. I don't know, again, you said you still wanted it to be a little bit more complex. So if you want to be able to plan for handling multiple projects. So let's say right now it is just wood. But even then, you still have other considerations to make, like what trees, what type of wood. So maybe we need wood types. And this would be a lookup table. And typically when you're working with Entity Framework, you want your classes to be partial so that Entity Framework can do whatever additional stuff it does to them. But that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's like, if you wanted to make a robust app for yourself so that you have the practice, then make a few tables to kind of cover cases that even though this one use case isn't using, then you still have it as an option. But you definitely don't have to do that. Something like current discounts. So I'm not very good at making ERPs, so I don't really know a good table structure for them. Like, discounts are handled in a really weird way, at least just from my limited experience with them. But, man. Anyway, let's just say those two tables made out of wood, made for wood. So with that, your woodshop tracker application, there's another thought. We can talk about that if you want. If anyone has opinions on this, feel free to bring it up. But you could, if you wanted, use these database entities as the shared models between your backend service, whatever it is that's going to be doing all of your database work for you, and your client application. Typically, that's not a great idea because of exposing the properties from your database in a way that's not filtered or controlled. So typically almost all tables have a public int ID or GUID or whatever. I'm just going to simplify it and make it an int. For this one, since that one's going to be a lookup, I'm just showing this again for complexity, not because it's something that I would do anyway. That's a lie. I would totally do this. Would type. Oh crap. I would need to come up with a clever name for this though. Yeah, I'm gonna see what happens if we just call it wood type ID. But because wood type isn't necessarily something that would change. And if it does change, it's very seldom. But you would try to capture as many different wood types as you can think of. Maple, oak, cherry, walnut, pine. Man, this is tab to win, hero. Beech. Yes. Okay, okay. That's plenty of wood. Look at it go. Holy cow. And it's repeating itself though. That last one was a repeat, but surprisingly, none of these others are repeats. Okay. I'm happy with it though. So let's go with this list for our list of wood. Give me wood. And then you have your on configurating. So this is where you could configure a default, which is good. Can you just fill it in for me? Because I don't know how to configure the connection strings for SQLite. Clayman dev for the stream, for the raid. Thank you so. Whoa. Is that Apocalypse? Oh, it hasn't even popped up yet. I had my sound turned up a little bit louder than usual. Apps. Thank you so much for that. Anyway, hi Clayman. How was your stream? How is everything going? If you guys don't know Clayman Dev, he is a game developer, but more than that, he is an amazing person who is making a game called Epic Hero Game on stream. Hello, Peter. Raiders. It's custom for all raiders to join the community call on Fridays. Not required, just customary. Nice. Hello, Napalm. But anyway, check out his content. Here's a clip of his game. And if you want to post a link to your game on STEM, where people can check it out, please do. Oh my gosh. I am struggling. But here's a clip. On screen. No clips. Do you not have clips, Clay? Unless that was the wrong shout out command. Let's try this one.
Zo'n part of. Alla Weber. Alla Weber.
Thank you, Peter. Did you have a horse for a head? Was I seeing things? I didn't look up at the screen fast enough, and I only caught the very, very, very last millisecond of it. Your clips are awesome. Anyway, here, you didn't post a link. Check out Epic Hero Game on Steam. I'm doing a terrible job at adding commands for stuff. I should add it as soon as I think about it. Nogi. No, that's how this works. Anyway, I was explaining a process to one of our viewers who is participating in Community Day. For those of you that are new here, I am One Lion. I guess I should do this part first. I am an application developer. Today is Friday, and on Fridays on our stream, we do community days where I invite you, viewers, community members, whomever, to hop onto a Discord voice channel and let us hear your beautiful voice. We can have conversations about whatever technology topics you want, something relevant to the stream, preferably. And if you do join the voice channel and want to use your voice, two things. Number one, please be mindful of the audience. I personally don't have a problem with foul language, curse words, whatever. But because we have a wide variety of people, and there are some that don't want to hear that kind of language, then I just ask that you be mindful of it. That's all. And then 2, I post the recordings of I post the VODs to YouTube after the stream, so your voice will forever be recorded. Hold on. 1 second, please. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I stream, and I have a time blocked out for my normal workday, and my PM still tries to get a hold of me. How fun. Anyway, hi. Hello, caller. You're on stream. What can we do to help you? So yes, phone lines are open. In order to participate with your voice on Community Day, all you have to do is hop into the Discord that I posted the link for. Join any of the voice channels. Let me know that you're sitting in a voice channel, and I will pull you into the stream room. In the stream room, I will have my camera going, which is the virtual camera, so that you can still see what's going on the stream. It's just more in real time in case we happen to be talking about anything code related that you want reviewed or shown or whatever. Then I will you'll be able to see it in real time as opposed to needing to watch the stream, get that however many second to minutes delay, and just get confused. But as I was saying, just know that your voice will come through on stream, and I post my VODs to YouTube, so it'll be there forever. If you're not comfortable with that, then you can still participate in Community Day by posting chats, and we will have conversation there. So what we've been talking about is a situation that Semperfitus brought up, where he's creating, or sorry, no assumptions, where they're creating a WPF application, and they are using a database in the application itself. It's really meant to be used by one user on their computer. However, they're also trying to learn while doing it. And so they're making it a little complex, and that's why they want to add an authentication mechanism to it. But the first topics that I was discussing regarding this are setting up your application in a standard-ish way, where you have things that are responsible for different parts of the application. They said they're already using models and data project, where the data project most likely has their entity framework context, and excuse me, I don't know what happened to my throat there. And the models one has their database properties. What was I going to do? I haven't created a DB context manually in a while. I'm almost always copying from my DB context from an existing DB context that I have. So I don't remember why this was muscle memory for me to do. So creating the 2 constructors so that we have an empty constructor. And I think that's required if you're going to do mock testing. Does that sound right? I think that's why. But anyway, just having it this far will allow you to create a new database that will create tables, products, and wood types. However, I like to have my controlled configuration, so we can also override on model creating. You know what? This thing is going to do it for us. Thank you, Copilot. I'm not going to be angry at you for doing that. We don't need to specify the keys since both of them are called ID. I said both of them are called ID. The difference is that the ID that I'm going to use for wood types, since I'm going to control the wood types using an enum, is the wood type enum, the wood type ID enum. And the reason that I like doing this is because these wood types, again, they're not going to change. They're just going to be, they're going to exist. But I also want to use them in SQL queries. So I may as well have a table with wood types. And so here's product ID, public wood type ID, wood type. Oh my gosh. Price. Sure, why not name? Description, price, whatever. And these are going to be required. You must have them in the database. Non-nullable strings. Actually, you know what? The description. Yeah, non-nullable. Sure. I don't know that name is needed unless we're gonna like do some weird stuff. Anyway, point is this is just a sample. So we're gonna make tons of assumptions that you will need the name of the product and the price and all that stuff. And normally what we would do is, because we have wood type as a field in this table, so it's a property in this model. This model represents an entity, which is a database object. And so these properties turn into fields in a database table. But what we would normally do is, because since we have the reference to an ID for a record in